In this video, I will be discussing my opinion on what I would like to see changed in the new upcoming codex for the Imperial Guard, and hopefully it's going to be coming out real soon. Now, before we go on any further, I wanted to state that I've been playing the Imperial Guard since 3rd edition. I started off with the Catrins, when their codex was only a beastly 20 pages, and throughout the years, I have played the Steel Legion, I have played the Elysians using the Elysian rules from Forge World. My own custom regiment back in 5th edition, and now I'm using the Cadian rules. Now, I'll be doing more of these videos in the future for the Guard because I doubt that many people want to be hearing me talk for a long time talking about this topic. So I thought it would be better to break it down into smaller videos. And on top of that, I like to hear other people's opinions on my opinions. So if they're good enough, I can go and do a counterpoint video to those opinions. So that's basically that. So with that out of the way, let's start things off. And the first thing I'm going to be discussing is the special characters that are available to us. Now, to be honest with you, I have not played that many on the special characters, and the only one that I really use is Commander Pask, and that's really it. And the only reason why I use him is because his ballistic skill is 2 or higher, and I usually only use him in a Luminous Exterminator. I love the plasma. What can I say? Now I think Pask is pretty good the way that he is, but maybe add an order that's only for Pask. And this order can be doing a +1 ballistic skill to another Lumen Russ, or doing a reroll for a Lumen Russ or against a vehicle or a non-vehicle target. So, um, I'm not even going to go into the other special characters because I have not used any of them. Really, the only other special character that I have used was Sergeant Hawk from the Catrins, and that was multiple editions ago. And that was when I had him in a veteran squad with 2 heavy bolters, and that was pretty fun. But other than that, I don't really use any special characters. So now, what I can talk about, I think, is maybe new or special characters. Something like, for example, Steel Legion. I think they should have a special character. They've been around since 3rd edition, and they haven't really had anything, to be honest with you. I mean, those Commissar Yorick, but that's kind of a generic special character at this point. But maybe have some kind of Steel Legion commander that can give buffs against Oryx. That would be quite interesting, to say the least. Now, in the past, there have been some very interesting characters that there's really no special rules for anymore. Um, that I would like to see be used again. Technically, he and his crew was from the time when you couldn't get a Beyblade model from Games Workshop, and it was only Forge World. And that Forge World model was hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that special character is Maximilian Weiserman. In short, basically, his fluff was he was a commander of a Beyblade, and he fought against some Oryx, and some spooky stuff happened, and he basically disappeared. Actually, look into his background. It's actually very interesting, in my opinion. But honestly, his rules they were very bland, and those rules were basically he was ballistic skill 3. That was really it. But still, it did show some kind of flavor to your army, and I think that would be quite nice to have again. Now, there were some other characters in the past I don't want to be droning on about. Um, for example, yet again, another Forge World commander was Commander Snake, or Colonel Snake, I think it was something Snake. And he basically he was a commander in a Chimera, and he would ride into battle with two plasma pistols, and he would shoot his two plasma pistols out of the cupola of the Chimera. Yeah, I mean, he was a cool model, and he was. I don't remember his rules to be honest with you, but it was an interesting guy to say the least. Um, Now the next thing is the points for guardsmen and conscripts. Yes, guardsmen are cheap, and yes, conscripts are even cheaper, but not by that much. At the current points difference, there was not that much of an advantage of taking conscripts over regular base infantry. Conscripts have worse BS, worse weapon skill, worse leadership, and not being able to take special weapons like how they used to actually. And having all of those disadvantages only to save a point is quite silly, in my opinion. I think they should be less points than a guardsman by a couple of points. So you can have more of an advantage points wise. Um, Maybe knock them down by 2 points might seem reasonable, maybe 3 points. So, but that, yet again, that's my personal opinion. The other thing would be the Vox system. Now, for a long time, the Vox casters they were used for leadership bonuses, and in short, if a commander or a lieutenant with a command squad, and the command squad had a Vox caster in it, they could issue their leadership bonus to another infantry squad that also had a Vox caster, and there was really no range; it could be anywhere on the board, and that was quite nice in my opinion. I think the new Vox caster system and the current rules, I do not like them. I think that what they should be able to do is to either give the leadership bonus, like how they used to, or give orders, like how they currently do, but have them be able to be used anywhere on the board. They don't have to be within an aura range, like how it is right now. So, um, yeah, and kind of to continue. Now, if they're kind of new to the guard, I bet you've heard a lot of people talk about online about the old platoon setup. Now, you might ask yourself, what is the platoon system setup? Simple, actually. For one troop slot, you can have one lieutenant, one command squad, 0 through 2 special weapons, 0 through 2 heavy weapon squads, then 2 to 5 infantry squads. And I love that because you would save a lot of very precious elite slots. Because now, lieutenants, command squads, and special weapon squads were are now currently elites, and I would really use those elite slots for other things like I don't know ordnance, for example. So I think that system should be brought back. And the last thing about the Volkslagers for the grunts is the snipers. And I think snipers should be either be taken by themselves, like how in the old previous capture rules, or maybe do something of a shooter and a spotter setup. If there was a spotter attached to the sniper, maybe do a reroll bonus or a +1 ballistic skill or something like that. But either way, there should be some kind of added cover bonus like the Space Marine camel cloaks. Now, moving on to the very, very, very fun heavy stuff, i.e., the vehicles. Extra armor, I think they should either be a funeral pain or a invulnerable save of some type. Camo netting, either a cover save, even in the open. Sounds crazy, but if you add enough bushes and sticks to a vehicle, it is going to look like a moving bush. Or If it's over 18 inches away, some kind of cover save. They can also be able to deploy smoke launchers for vehicles, even if the vehicle has advanced. They can fire assault weapons out of an advanced vehicle, but they can't press a button to pop smoke. I don't get that at all. Another new Luminous variant is to have a large turret-mounted flamethrower, just like how there was a bunch of flamethrower vehicles back in World War II, like the Sherman. Germans had some. It was the Soviets, but that's not the point. The point is Luminous flamethrower, super fun, super awesome, and super fiery, happy goodness. Talking about Luminuses, I think the Luminous Demolisher should be a little bit tougher than the normal Luminous, and that's because in the previous rules, the Luminous Demolisher was tougher due to its support role. It was a close support vehicle, so it had extra armor attached to it. It was tougher to kill than a regular Luminous. And talking about close support Luminuses, I think the Punisher tank should have a longer range for their main weapon, i.e., the Punisher cannon. I think 24 inches is way too short. I think either 30 at minimum to 36 would be the nice little sweet spot. Then, just to wrap things up, everybody's been talking about this, and I fully agree with them. I think Super Heavies should have a 2-up save. But in addition to that, I think Super Heavies should also be toughness 9. I do not understand why a Luminous and a Beyblade are the same toughness when a Beyblade is constructed much more tougher and stronger than a Luminous. But honestly, that is my opinion. And I think that's all from one video. These are some random ideas that I've had. Now I want to hear from you guys, my fellow guardsmen and guardswomen, about my opinions. And I want to hear your opinions too, because I want to have a nice dialogue with my fellow Warhammer players. And yeah, that's really it. So, till next time, guys, get your stuff painted. Like me and Mason. And also subscribe because, yes, it will be fun. I promise you.